So, Ableton has this feature called the launch mode. Sound familiar? No? Oh. Well, I'm not surprised, to be honest. No one ever talks about it. And I do not understand why. It has some very interesting uses, which I will show you in today's video. Thing is, they're not obvious. They're not what you would expect. So what the f does this launch mode actually do? Whoa, first off, chill man. You don't need to come at me like that. And second off, it can do a couple of things, depending on what you tell it to do. As long as you don't come at it like that. So, first off, you have to find it, and if you go into session view and add an audio or a MIDI clip, you can then click this little play button right here, and congratulations, you found the launch mode. Now... So what the f does it do? Bro, chill, I was just about to tell you. What the launch mode does is it launches clips automatically. Now... That's f***ing it, that's useless. You know what, I've had enough. Oh, you wanna fucking go? Yeah. So, Ableton's launch mode is made to switch between the different clips in session view automatically. And to set it up, just select all the clips that you'd like to switch between, then go into clip view, and in the launch mode menu just press follow action. Now you can see that these little play buttons appear as if they were sliced or something. And now when I play one of these clips, as you can see, they will start to switch between each other automatically. So that's what the launch mode does, basically. Now we can get to the fun stuff. If you only had a bit more patience. Now I will show you some cool stuff that the launch mode allows you to do. I'll show you how it can help you generate ideas and add variation to your patterns. So let's start with the generating ideas part. I'll load up some bongo loops into this audio track, and by some I mean a lot. And now I can right click here and press select track content so that all of them are selected. Now I can go into clip view. Now that all of them are selected, we can turn on the launch mode for all of them at once. And now notice this little box here that says link. Right next to it, it says 1x, which means that the audio clips will switch between each other after playing one time, which is boring. It's predictable. If we press this button, it will switch to unlinked. Now we can choose the exact time that the loops will play for before switching. For example, we can make it so that they switch every 2 steps, or even better, every 1 step, so that it's much more chaotic. Okay, cool, but the order that these loops get played in is always the same, which is boring! Let's change that. This arrow here, the one that says next right now, means that a clip, after it's done being played, will play the next clip after that. But if we choose other from this menu here, the next clip will be chosen at random. Alright, we're getting somewhere, but now the clips always start at the exact same moment, which is boring! And to change that, let's just press this legato button here. Now, instead of the clips starting at the start point of the clips will now be determined by the current position of the playhead. So you get more unpredictable results. Oh, and big disclaimer, when you're making changes to the settings in launch mode, double check and make sure that all of the clips are selected. Otherwise, you'll be just changing the settings of one single clip. Remember about the select track content button. It's very useful here. Dope. Now it's super random. I'm gonna let this play for a bit and record the results into audio.
A few moments later.
Now you have a ton of ideas to choose from. You can look around in this clip and see what sounds good when you loop it. If you like one of the clips, you can duplicate it and press crop sample. So now you have just a 1-bar loop of what you selected. But if you want to be even more cheeky, you can pitch the audio clip around. Maybe even reverse it. Also try using the texture warp mode because it's really fun. With these types of experimental sounds, I find that anything can sound good as long as you sidechain it, so let's do that. So I hope that by now you can see how this method of generating ideas can lead to you reusing loops in ways that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise. And it's not just bongo loops that you can use it on. It can be used on anything as long as you keep in mind that the sounds themselves have to be good. Because it's not like you're randomizing the samples themselves, just the order that they're played in. And if the samples are shit, then...
Where can we get good samples from?
Give me a second. Well, to answer that guy's question, you can find some pretty cool samples on our Discord server. We have a channel where we share self-made samples with each other, and people have been sharing some pretty cool stuff there recently. Check it out. Everyone's welcome. Except you. So, now that we've generated some ideas, how can we arrange them in a more interesting way? Guess what? Launch mode saves the day again. I'll show you this technique on these hi-hats right here. So we've got this loop and we will duplicate it so you have two of the same clip, and we're going to go into one of them and make sure the beats mode is turned on and the preserve mode is set to transients. Now we're going to need to choose this little arrow here, this one, and turn down the decay time. Now here's the difference. This is before and this is after. So now we have a version of the loop with shorter transients and the regular version. So let's select both of them, turn the launch mode on, turn legato on, change the mode to unlink, and set the time to some weird number like 3 bars, for example. Now every 3 bars the hats will alter between a normal and a weaker, shorter version. So our hats can breathe in a way. And things start to get really interesting once you do the same with more hi-hat loops. So you can have these ones changing every 3 bars and these ones changing every 5 bars. And the point of setting the time to weird numbers like these is so that they interact with each other in unpredictable ways. It's called polymeters, I think. You get the idea. This way your hats are going to make your arrangements much more interesting. It's not like this method is just limited to hi-hats. You can use it on hi-hat loops, melody loops, chords, stabs, basses, chord loops, melodies, stabs, pads, everything. Heck, even kick rumbles. The sky is the limit here, really. So go crazy! Go!
Watch this video next.